there guys, and welcome back to the channel. As always, thanks so much for checking out this content and clicking on this video. I always appreciate you guys being here. We're going to be talking about arguably the biggest fantasy franchise in the entire universe, Lord of the Rings. So we have the first reactions for the War of the Rohirrim, this kind of animated Lord of the Rings crossover. When I first heard about this, I was kind of like, a Lord of the Rings animated movie. Are people going to be excited for this? Is this going to work? It's a little bit different, a little bit quirky, and it kind of piqued my interest. And it looks like the first reactions are here. I can't wait to see what people are saying about this. So let's jump in, let's break down these reactions, and ultimately, let's see if it's doing well or if it's doing bad. And yeah, I'm interested to see what people have to say here. So, The War for the Rohirrim hailed as the best Lord of the Rings project since the original trilogy in first reactions. Wow, best Lord of the Rings project since the original trilogy. Those is fighting words. So let's get into it here, guys. Following some recent press screenings, the first social media reactions to Warner Bros. Lord of the Rings The War of the Rohirrim animated prequel have been shared online, and the response to our first big screen visit to Middle-earth since The Hobbit, The Battle of the Five Armies, has been very positive for the most part. So, the animation style, voice acting, action sequences, overall aesthetic have come in for high praise, but quite a few of those posts mention that the movie is just too damn long and simply doesn't justify its runtime. Okay, of all the issues you can have with a movie being too long, it's probably one of the least problems, like one of the least worst problems. As long as the characters, the action, the animation, and all that kind of stuff is good, then that's great. But I guess having a movie that's too long, potentially too overstuffed, could be an issue. But it's one of the lesser issues, in my opinion. But I haven't seen the movie yet, so that's hard for me to speak to. So, let's start off here. So, The War for the Rohirrim kicks all sorts of ass. This should be a future of the franchise, using animation to tell different stories in the world of Middle-earth. Helm Hammerhand is the baddest mother frigate who ever lived. So, Lord of the Rings, The War for the Rohirrim is the best Lord of the Rings project we have since the original trilogy. Again, like I said, those is fighting words. It surpasses any live-action Lord of the Rings project made in the past decade, telling a beautiful, rich story of family, revenge, and legacy, a compelling Miyazaki-inspired fantasy. Lord of the Rings, The War for the Rohirrim is a roaring return to Middle-earth with gorgeous animation that wonderfully weaves Peter Jackson's cinematic vision through the artistry of anime. This is the Lord of the Rings like we've never seen before, overly long, but feels so good to be back. I really enjoyed Lord of the Rings, The War of the Rohirrim. Epic, grand, and mesmerizing. The anime-style animation was exquisite. Felt so good returning to Middle-earth, I didn't realize how much I had missed it. One of my favorite films of the year. The Lord of the Rings, The War of the Rohirrim has glimpses of the Middle-earth magic, but proves that it can only be as powerful as the characters we follow, which here are sadly unengaging. Okay, so this is a negative review here. The intrigue in the story lacks surprise, and it got a lethargic pace. I was let down. So this person didn't like it. They were saying that the movie was overly long, the characters were unengaging, the story lacked surprise, and it was at a lethargic pace. So it was slow as well. So that person really didn't like it very much. I wish I liked The Lord of the Rings, The War for the Rohirrim more, but mostly found it to be trite and mundane. Trite and mundane. Wow, that's really negative words there. Its spectacle is certainly compelling at times. Some great individual moments with wonderful animation and stirring music. On the whole, it left a lot to be desired. Set 183 years before the Lord of the Rings trilogy, The War of the Rohirrim is engrossing, brutally violent spectacle, an animated epic with strong character depth that feels very much in the same world. Spectacular battle sequences and the use of lore, with more than a few surprises as well. I love to hear that, guys. Engrossing, brutally violent, animated epic. Brutally violent. You sold me. So, Lord of the Rings, The War for the Rohirrim sports robust 2D animation, but the story doesn't justify the runtime. The action is well choreographed in an otherwise weightless battle with a lead character that deserves far more depth. Okay, so they're saying that the character doesn't have much weight to it and that the runtime is a bit too long. Okay, so The Lord of the Rings, The War for the Rohirrim is a great addition to the iconic franchise. Perfect for families with teens and Tolkien fans. It has deeper exploration of lore, delivers an empowering story, offers up insane action, and features exciting cameos. Okay, I'm sure it's blasphemous to some, but that I don't absolutely worship the Lord of the Rings series. but I still see the merit, and the War for the Rohirrim absolutely worked for me. It's a perfect vehicle for lore fans, casual watchers, and anime enthusiasts. Visually stupendous. Lord of the Rings: The War for the Rohirrim is a fantastic journey back to Middle-earth, with an outstanding voice cast, dazzling animation, and superb direction. The film is an absolute must-watch on the big screen, with its epic action and battle sequences. The Lord of the Rings, The War for the Rohirrim, presents audiences with a stunning new chapter in Tolkien's time-honoured dark fantasy world. The director brings exciting new characters, action, and freshness to the franchise. It's not to be missed on the big screen. The War for the Rohirrim is breathtaking on the big screen. The director directs with a cinematic scope, delivering thrilling battles and striking designs. Where it falls short is in its story, which fails to impress or deliver memorable characters. So there's a lot of people here saying that the movie is too long, that the characters don't have enough depth or emotional weight, that the story is a little bit lackluster. But across the board, people seem to be saying the animation is great, the action is great, the lore is good, and all that kind of stuff. So we need to be on the lookout. When I eventually watch this movie, I'm going to be on the lookout for the characters. Do they have emotional depth? Are they compelling? And does the runtime feel a little bit overly long? So that's kind of the things I'm a little bit cautious about and that I pick up from these reviews here. So we'll have to wait and see once I get to see the movie. So, the Middle-earth adventure, which is set almost 200 years before the event of J.R.R. Tolkien's classic trilogy, follows the mighty first King of Rohan as he mounts the defense of the fortress of Hornburg, which came to be known as Helm's Deep, from a relentless siege. So, this story is the most powerful king of Rohan's history, someone who defeated his enemies with his bare fists. Why did this lineage have to end with him? I think there's a lesson in hubris here, and also for we need responsibility and awareness in the power. We live in an age where all over the world we face reality of war again. What then is power? What is responsibility for those who possess it? It is something that they need to think about by thinking together with those who don't. And that's kind of where we are, guys. And the rest of it is just kind of the cast list here and a bit of the synopsis as well. So have a read at your own pace. Pause the video and read it if you need to. The Lord of the Rings: The War for the Rohirrim releases in cinemas on December 13th, just in time for Christmas. So if you're a Lord of the Rings fan, if you're an anime fan, or potentially both, then this project is going to be right up your street. It sounds from these early reactions that this is going to be an absolutely incredible take on the Lord of the Rings mythology. Looks like we're in for a Christmas treat here with Lord of the Rings. I'm really, really excited to see this. But like I said, there's a few cautionary parts there. The movie's overly long. The characters don't necessarily have emotional depth. So we have to be on the lookout for that. But movies are subjective. What may work for me may not work for you, and vice versa. So, you know, every movie is going to land differently with different people. So just bear that in mind as well. These reviews might not necessarily be accurate to the way you feel about the movie or the way that I feel about the movie. But it's just, you know, people's perspective on what they saw and how they felt about it. So that's kind of where we are with the early reactions for the War of the Rohirrim. It sounds like it's absolutely incredible. Some people are saying the best Lord of the Rings project since that original trilogy. So that's big words to fill there, guys. So can it live up to that hype? I hope it does. It sounds great. I can't wait to see this on the big screen. It's going to be a great Christmas. We've got some great movies coming up. So very, very excited to get back to the cinemas sometime soon. So guys, jump into the comment section. Let me know what you think about these early reactions to the War of the Rohirrim. Is this something you're going to be checking out over the Christmas period? Do you think, do these reactions get you more hyped and excited to go and watch the movie? Or has it kind of dampened your excitement a little bit? Whatever your thoughts are, let me know down below in the comment section. As always, thanks so much for being here. Hit that like and consider becoming a subscriber of the channel if you haven't already. It goes a very long way to supporting the content here, guys. So I'd really, really appreciate you becoming a subscriber if you haven't done so already. And as always, I will see you in the next video.